The Lord was speaking to me, and He said many people have been experiencing levels of anger, confusion, disappointment, and frustration with how they perceive Him moving and working in their lives. This is often a result of how they determine God would do a thing. When their expectations don't align with His way of bringing things to pass, they often get upset. We can become so attached to our own ideas and timelines that when God begins to move, it's easy to feel bewildered by how things unfold. Our assumptions about His method, timing, or outcome can cloud our understanding and affect our ability to follow in faith. But God's ultimate desire is for us to trust Him and know that He will bring it to pass. Consider David. When he was anointed as king, it didn't happen immediately. Instead, it took years of preparation, testing, and development before he stepped into the fullness of his calling. David may have thought that his anointing would have instantly led him to kingship, but God had a different process in mind. That journey included challenges David likely didn't anticipate, like being pursued by Saul. But despite the obstacles and detours, God's plan remained unstoppable. What may have seemed confusing or disheartening to David at times was a part of God's divine preparation. Similarly, in our own lives, we must trust, even when things don't go as expected. God is still at work, shaping and preparing us for His purpose. Philippians 1:6 says, being confident of this very thing, that He which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. The faith that David put in God protected him, secured his position, and kept him from the hands of the enemy. Even when David failed, God didn't allow him to fall, nor did He abort His plans for David. He upheld him, extending mercy and guidance to ensure His plans for David's life. Our yes shows trust in the Lord and serves as a powerful protection against the strategies of the enemy. When we surrender to God's plans, we align ourselves with His purpose, allowing Him to work in us and through us. Trusting in Him guards our hearts and minds, keeping us from being swayed by doubt, fear, or the enemy's attempts to derail us. So it's important to let God move freely in our lives, to allow His plans to take shape, because it's not about us or our limited perspectives. It's about Him, aligning with His desires and trusting His wisdom. We need to prepare our hearts, surrender our plans, and let Him direct our paths. When we give Him room to work and speak into our circumstances, we create space for His will to manifest in ways that we could have never imagined. We must remain open and willing to trust His process, just as David did. The process may not look like we've imagined, but it's always for our good and for His glory. His timings and method may challenge us, but they are never random. Each step, even the ones that seem painful or confusing, is intentional and designed to bring about His purpose. In the end, our role is not to dictate how things should go, but to trust in the one who knows the end from the beginning. God is asking for your yes, and He's also asking you to trust Him, even when you don't understand, even when things don't look as you have expected them to be. God is telling you that you can trust Him. So give God your yes. Until next time.